I'm Rob Finnerty. Today marks 4 decades since the near-fatal assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II, an event that stunned the world at the time. Joining us now for spiritual and historical perspective on what happened 40 years ago is Father Leo Patalinghug and historian Doug Weed. Gentlemen, good morning. So nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Doug, the assassination attempt was carried out by a far-right Turkish nationalist, Mehmet al-Agca, whose motives do remain a mystery to this day. He even said that he wasn't trying to kill the Pope, even though he fired 4 times. Describe the political and religious climate at that time globally, and maybe what some of the motives were for something like this to take place.
Well, Pope John Paul II was a hero to people who wanted freedom from communism. And I didn't meet His Holiness, but I met frequently with William Casey, who made regular trips to him. And I introduced to the President of the United States the Cardinal who became the liaison between the Pope and the President of the United States. He was involved in many operations. Just one, he helped me get my dearest friend, who was Polish, into Gdansk to meet with Lech Wałęsa and to bring out, though Wałęsa was under house arrest, a speech to the Polish people. William Casey arranged for the speech to be broadcast on Radio Free Europe to the Polish people from prison, like Wałęsa speaking. I believe the Soviets were behind the assassination attempt. And while Pope John Paul II in Bulgaria said, no, the Bulgarians didn't do it, his own commission, which he authorized, later concluded and told him that the KGB was behind multiple attempts to kill him.
And there is evidence to suggest that now, certainly 40 years later. And people forget, Ronald Reagan, the assassination attempt on President Reagan happened just a couple months before. That was, I think, March of 1981. Father, you've had a long career. Did you have the chance to meet John Paul II?
I met him on several occasions.
Wow.
The man used my chalice, which I use every day for my holy masses. But his inspiration, again, to fight evil, which is sometimes faceless, which is why a lot of people were confused as to the motives of this plot against him. But we all know that it stems from one thing, and that's the sin of evil that wants to cancel truth, that wants to silence the voice of oppressive opportunities, including opportunities within government. And unfortunately, we see this faceless evil happening even in our world today.
My goodness, he used your chalice, Father. I'm going to have to come and to one of your masses just to have the chance to
I'll come to you.
I would love that. What an artifact. That becomes a part of history now, living history. Amazing. Just 4 days after being shot, Doug, John Paul II offered forgiveness to the man that tried to kill him. That said a lot about who he was. I think there's a great quote about character, and it's what you do when nobody's looking. And that was John Paul II, wasn't it?
Yes, and that's why they wanted to get rid of this guy. He was a shining example of Christianity. Western culture is built on Judeo-Christian philosophy. It's the idea of the good shepherd who leaves the 99 and goes to save the one, whereas communism is based on the community, the tribe. That's why they're against free speech. It's the voice of the commune, not the voice of the individual that matters. Christianity championed the individual, and that was Pope John Paul II.
And his would-be assassin, Father, is still alive to this day. He's 63 years old. John Paul II, we can show that picture again. He went and met with him in prison and forgave him. Now, he's out of prison now, which is just, it's remarkable. But the picture, it really says 1,000 words right there. What does that mean to you when you see that photo?
It's the incarnation, the enfleshment of one of the corporal works of mercy. Unique to Christianity is one of its highest tenets is forgiveness. That's why we have the sacrament of reconciliation. Right. And so what the Holy Father did was basically show to the world that not only is forgiveness real, it is powerful. And he made that opportunity in the great Jubilee of 2000. He pleaded for this man to be forgiven, really, and to have his record, in a sense, forgiven as well. And so it is possible to err, because that's human, but it is also possible to forgive, which is divine.
I agree with you. Father Leo Patalinghug, such a pleasure having you on the show. Doug Weed, always a pleasure. Good to see you again. Let's do this again soon.
For some reason, this interview you just saw was heavily censored. The only way we know to get around that is if you subscribe to this channel, YouTube channel, and hit the bell. And or if you send this link to a friend in an email, that can get through. Or subscribe to Rumble. They don't seem to censor these. But this one is especially experiencing some rough censorship. Thank you. We're gonna live through this. Bye-bye.